Okay, here we go, here we go. Are we up? Same name, same time, same station. Okay. People have been waiting for this for a long time. Everybody asks on everybody's stream what happens when you break stuff, what happens when lines get broken, what happens when you fix things. So that's what today's about. I've got 2 free days here before going to Canada. 2 free days, not free days, but free days on the stream. So Aimi-san, she did some test printing on one of the old Doihanga block sets a while back. This is how we find them in the old garage, the Doihanga garage. A block set with a partially printed old tattered print stuck on the front. And this one we rescued from the garage, I don't know, a couple of months back. And a few days ago, Aimi-san, she's here on her pregnancy thing. She's not doing steady big work, but she's doing test work and fooling around. So she took the old block set here a few days ago, opened it up, looked at this thing, and she made a few rough test prints just to check out the block set. Well, I haven't seen these, but she has tested it. What she's given me, she said, the set needs fixing. Please fix the block set. So I've got the, not the original, it's a tattered, worn original. And then she's got some, what has she done? She's just made some quick proofs on junk paper. And she's made a bunch of notes. It's a 2-up set, eh? Let's have a look. Let's find one of the blocks. Oh, she's giving me notes all over the place. I know holy crap. Each print is carved on the same piece of wood twice, A and B. So they come in pairs, A and B. Let's find the key block. Here we are. Here's the key block. Left and right. Takes twice as much time to carve, but obviously once the carving is done, bang, with the same motions. The printer can just make the same motions. Instead of printing 1, 1, 1, 1, he goes 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and you get 2 prints instead of 1. So it's hugely more effective. The problem is once the block set gets old and things start to swell and shrink, you have real difficulty getting both of them to look good. Anyway, let me have a look at what she's got here. She's made some notes here. Okay, there's a couple of different jobs here. One of the blocks, she said, the green block. Hang on a sec, I had just had it. Here it is, the green block. Yeah, holy crap. Whatever kind of pigment they used must have been a really abrasive pigment. Let's compare here. Look, okay, here's a normal block. You can see the outline. There's a retained wood and there's a carved away wood. Not so bad. This is quite printable. But the green, I don't know if you can see this. They're worn into rounded shapes, like wind-blasted, sand-blasted shapes. They're just blobs on the surface of the wood, So she's asking me to please clean up the edges of some of these. What's it going to look like? Oh, I see. It's the green. It's the green stuff we have here. Just blobs of green here and there. So that's one job. What else has she got here? Let me have a look so I know what job I'm doing today. She also says that you have to insert some wood. Ireki. I need a plug. On the purple block, it says. So let's find that. Sorry for the chaos here. The purple block, she said, needs a plug. Some of these look not so bad. The wear and tear depends very much on the pigment. See the difference there? This blue one, the edges are still fairly sharp, fairly clean. This will print cleanly. So whatever pigment they used for this in the old days was a very soft pigment, didn't do much damage. She said the purple block here needs a plug. Bottom of the pile. There's the purple block. It's a kimono pattern. What's the problem here? Ah, I see. Okay. She's printed in blue here. There's two figures in kimono, and there's a white gap at the top of the blue. I thought it was a stole. It's not. The woman's wearing a muffler. So Aimi-san wants me to put a plug in there to fix that. It must have chipped out. Yeah, there's a piece missing on here. Okay. Let's do this first. This will be the most interesting one. Let's get the stuff out of the way. No place to put it. Excuse me. Okay, so what we'll need to do here, I should be able to do this in the time frame of the... Yeah, I think the previous printer tried to adjust it and he's chopped off too much. Okay, let's try this. Do you see what we're doing? The blue area here, the blue goes up and up and up and up and suddenly stops as a big white blob. So the blue should go right up to the top to match her muffler. Same, the orange kimono comes up and matches her muffler. So I've got to put a shim of wood. So the area right here, I'm going to dig a hole here, put a piece of wood inside, and then carve the missing shape on it. What do I need? I'll need a shim of wood here. Should do here. Okay, let's get to it. How close to zoom? What to do here? Is it going to focus? Just a minute, give me a chance to get this started. Focus menu. Focus. Spot focus. Just a minute, I'm trying to get this sorted out. It's not wanting to focus here. Come on, there you go. Is that it? Now there's no way I can inlay a little tiny piece of wood, the one we need. We're going to inlay a bigger piece, get it in there firm, and then chop it back later. We can't muck around with little pieces. So we cut it back to a clean, sharp edge. Might need a light here. That's better. What's that done to the camera though? Oh, look at that. Sorry about the focus. Let's try and get this figured out. I think we're focused in too close. Yeah, is that better? How old are these blocks? I don't know. I don't know. I should have checked and stuff, done a bit of research before I started, so I don't know. I know our friend Doi-san, the guy who works here, he's done the catalogue raison of Tsuchiya Koitsu's work. And this is a print published by the Doi Hunger Company, designed for them by Tsuchiya Koitsu. And my guess is these are, well, I don't know. They could be post-war blocks, they could be pre-war. I really don't know. I should keep my mouth shut. They've been so heavily used, Is this going to focus? I know. When you look at the registration corner here, see the shims? There's shims on shims on shims on shims. It's just been used so many different times. What are we carving here? Let's move the camera just a bit. Hang on a second. Making repairs like this on our new blocks is much easier. The new blocks we use, we have cherry 5mm bonded to a plywood layer. So what we do with those is when I'm carving a place like this, I just cut down through the cherry till I get to the layer of plywood. That gives me a perfect evaluation of the depth. And I know 5mm, so I know I need a 5mm plug. These solid wooden blocks, there's no base here, so it's much more freestyle. There's also a question of cosmetic issues here. Do I want to make this an invisible repair like people do when they're mending a suit? No way. I'm not trying to make this invisible. It's going to be functional. There's going to be a piece of wood that will print something. So you can see what we're doing here. I've carved a slot. I'm going to get a piece of wood, put it in that slot, and tightly snug it up. It's way easier to shape the wood to fit the slot than to shape the slot to fit the wood. So glue on that. It's got to be cleaned up. I'm not seeing the chat here. I'm sorry. I don't know if there's questions or what that are going by. Just a minute. Let me get this done bit by bit. Then we'll have a look at the chat. So. Squeezes in nicely. It's way too big, but we'll take care of that later. Okay. It's in a bit of an angle, so it squeezes in. Yoisha! It probably doesn't need glue, you know, but whatever. We'll see. Okay, there's one. Let's start another one. Both sides need it. And let's check the chat here, see what's going on. Oh, too much, too much, too much. I can't catch all of what's going on here. I know, blah, 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 blah. Rough concept of what's going on here. I don't know. Where's a pen? These two areas, they're missing bits at the top. So we've got a piece of wood that's missing here. And we had one that's missing here, same thing. So rather than try and shape a tiny little piece of wood that fits, you can see what I've done. Chop a hole, bung a piece of wood in, and what I'll do when this is dry in a minute is I'll shave it off the top, bit by bit, shave, 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 till it's down to the right height. Then it'll of course be way too big. I will then roughly cut off all the excess, leaving the carved area plus a millimeter or so. At this point, I don't know what the exact shape is going to be right here as I sit here. So I can't finish this job here. I will then pass this to Ayumi-san again. And what she will do to help me finish this job, she will take a piece of paper and she will print it in the key block, which shows the outlines of the person. And that will include the outlines of this kimono. And then she and I will do it together. We'll come back here, we'll dab a bit of glue on this block, and we will paste the outline on top of this block that I've repaired. And I will then see the outlines of this place on the new wood. And that'll give us the information to carve away the extra part that we don't need. So it's going to be a multi-stage process. So today for me, it's just simply getting these plugs in place, letting the glue dry here, shaving off 99% of the waste wood and getting it close. And then when she's here on a Monday, well, I won't be doing that Monday morning, but when she's here Monday, we'll be doing the next stage of it. Okay, that's one side. Let me do another one here. Just same thing again. It's really, really a fast job. You know, if she was here now, we could do this during the middle of printing. She's printing the issue, finding this problem, passes it down to me, bang, bang, 10 minutes, put this in, she pastes the paper on, we carve it, and within 15 minutes, she's up and running. Block repair really isn't a big, complex, complicated job. It's something you do on the fly. Now, simple repairs, the printers do. They don't need to pass it over to the carving bench. You know, the printers do simple ones themselves. This is very, very, very dry wood. I mean, it's at least half a century old, way more, 50, 60, 70 years old. And this part hasn't been printed in, I don't know. Where's the newspaper it was wrapped in? Usually you can look at the newspaper, that's the last time the blocks were taken out. It says 1990. That's not the age of these blocks. They're way, way older than that. But 1990 is, you know, at some point they were opened up and printed and rewrapped. That doesn't mean the last time, because they might have been used since then, but wrapped up in the same newspaper. I don't know. Oh, focus problems. Sorry, guys. No. Is it better? No? Come on, machine, do your job. Focus. It's there, but it's not going to hold, is it? We'll see if it holds for a bit. No idea. And all this funny bright light, dark light, it throws off the thing, obviously, you know, so. What was I doing now? Which way around is this? I've forgotten which way the wood grain is. I'll cut out one side here. It's easier to slide it in. You know, it's not so pretty a finished result, but when I was first doing this sort of stuff, you know, I tried to make all the repairs invisible repairs. It was kind of a pride, you know. Nobody should be able to tell I've repaired the block, you know. It was pointless. You spend a half an hour, you know, trying to make it invisible. And it's not what you want, actually. It's better if subsequent printers and whatever can see what you've done. So this isn't, you know, tailoring. This is, you know, woodblock repair. So It's got to be invisible from the point of view of the finished print, of course, but not invisible to the people playing with the block. I think we're there. Let's just get it in there. It's a combination of glue and squeeze. Get the edges of that slot beveled so it squeezes in. Okay, that doesn't look very pretty at this point, but that's stage one. Now let's move on to another block while this glue dries. Where do I put this? Okay, she also said the green block needs tons of work, so let's have a look. That's not it. Here we go. This is chaos. Look at this. I don't know if you can see. It's just totally rounded and smooth. What do I do with this? Not quite sure what I should do here. The purpose of this block is to print green blobs of leaves and blobs of grass and stuff. And she didn't even try because it's so worn. So anyway, what I'll do, I think, is just, I don't know, what's in the chat here. Did somebody find the image here? 1930s, could be, I guess. So, just pre-war. Yeah, the print is called Arashiyama. That's what it says on it. It says Arashiyama Tsuchiya Koitsu. 1930s, I guess. This is whatever, how many thousands and thousands and thousands they must have made on this. So anyway, I'm not sure what to do. We've got some rough, totally rough, bizarre blobs. She wants me to clean it up a little so she gets some definition. She was worried about places like this, where the green blobs bump up against the tree trunk. She doesn't want them bumping into the tree and stuff like that. But crap, what do I do? Something like this, it might just be easier to cut and run, just make a new block from scratch. I mean, how many hours of work do we do just working on these blobs, you know? Anyway, let's just go for it. It's been done before, you know. You can see printers have had a go at chopping out some of the parts that must have been giving them trouble. I know, a block like this, 1930s or whatever it is, you know, this wood really now is too old. It's very, very, very brittle. I know, we get blocks when we complain all the time about our new blocks because the wood is not seasoned well. It's too young, what's the word, too wet, hasn't dried well. But there's this, at the other end of the scale, it's no good, you know. I know. Once the blocks get really, really dried out, they're just too brittle. I'm speaking from the carving point of view. Right? You can print an old block like this. It takes pigment really, really well. But if this was a brand new piece of, I mean, if there was no carving on this, if I was just starting to carve it right now, it really wouldn't be usable. The wood is so brittle, it'll just chip and pop all over the place. So there's a life for these things. Now, even if somebody prepared some blank blocks, if we found a treasure trove of blank blocks now from this era, I don't know, we could use them for something, but it would be very, very difficult. I know I've got to face this because I've got some blank blocks in my Ome workshop that I ordered from the block makers in the mid-1980s, early 1980s. Late 1970s, early 1980s. And honestly speaking, if I don't use those within some period of time here, they're just going to dry out to the point where they're not really usable anymore. I've just been postponing. Let's think the project one day. And I got to get to it, you know. Are we focused, or what is it doing? Is it holding its own? Let me know. Let me know. Look at this. I can't even see where those bumps are to carve. insane. It's like having a cloud. Where's the edge of the cloud? You can't even see it. I'm not sure if you've been chatting about this in the stream already. I can't see what's going on over there. But when we were on the stream yesterday, chatting about what's coming up over the next few days, I'll be off through next week because I have to make a trip to see my family over in Canada. And from Japanese time on Tuesday, I'll be gone for 1 week, starting Tuesday the 9th, Japanese time. There'll be no streams for 1 week. I'll post a notice about this, of course, on the Twitch page so people know what's going on. But in the few days before I go, there's 3 left. There's today, tomorrow, and Monday. I'm speaking about Japanese time again. And we were chatting about this yesterday in the stream. And it was pretty much decided by me or whatever, whoever, that Monday stream, the last one before I go to Canada for a break there with my family, the Monday stream will be the one where we make a print. I make a print from start to finish. It's going to be maybe a bit longer stream than normal. I'm not really quite sure how long it's all going to take. I'm going to prepare 2 pieces of wood for the 2 color blocks that are necessary for a particular print. I'm also going to prepare some paper and some pigments, have them ready at the side of the bench here. And starting at 8 o'clock, I'll start carving. I'll paste some paper down and start carving. And then if all goes well, smoothly and cleanly, by the time the stream is finished, we should have a finished print. There's 2 blocks to carve, do a bit of test printing, and then take a run of about 10 prints or so. And it'll be that print, we've been chatting about it on the fan page, the young woman in the bath. It's from a Japanese postcard made in about 1906, I think it was. So that'll be Monday's stream. It's going to be 1 print, start to finish, and however long it takes is however long it takes. And I'm thinking just about the usual 90-minute stream, or maybe 2 hours, I don't know. And I've got to mention again one thing, this is so nobody gets the wrong idea. This is not going to be a sort of an Olympic challenge. Oh my God, can Dave do this? Look at the clock ticking down. Is it going to happen? Wow, click, click, click. No, it's just going to simply be a quiet, peaceful stream of me working on that design until we get it done. It's not a sort of big challenge. Can we make a print start to finish in 1 stream? So please don't come at it with that frame of mind. And the other comparisons with this comes back again and again, the Bob Ross comparison. He made his paintings on stream, on camera, start to finish. Normally I can't do that, but we're going to try just for fun with a simple image, seeing the whole process start to finish. And that'll be Monday's stream. I'm speaking Japan time, Monday morning Japan time, which means for North Americans and pretty much everybody else, it's Sunday afternoon or evening or whatever. And of course, once it's finished, assuming there's no disasters or tragedies or whatever, I'll edit it to make sure the audio is synced properly, and the whole thing will go up on YouTube, assuming it comes out, something worth watching. So tell your friends, gather around. That's going to be Monday, 9 o'clock, Tokyo time. Start to finish. One print. I'm going to have a wingman here. Cameron's coming in early that morning. He's going to help me from the beginning. He normally drops partway partway through the streams. He'll be here on Monday from the beginning. And we're going to, we've had some Wi-Fi problems in recent times with these streams. So we're going to wire it up. We're just going to wire a direct Ethernet connection straight to my router to hopefully minimize the chance of stream problems. Are we still focusing? Look at this, I keep getting out of the field of view. Where am I? Sorry about that. It's hard to keep track of where this is, It's easier when I'm using my microscope because that stays in one spot all the time. I put the wood back in the same spot so the camera just stays focused. But working freely like this without the microscope, it's more difficult to keep it under the camera. I'm sorry. We need a cameraman here all the time, but I can't do that for every stream. It's impossible. Conversation, floors, whatever. Have a look at how our previous one's doing. Just a sec. Let's have a look at this. You dip that a bit longer. If I hack away that too soon, those inserts will pop out. There's no rush. This print, of course, so once we get it fixed here, once we do some test printing, it'll be appearing in our catalog. I'm not sure if Aimi-san will be doing the edition. She's getting pretty heavily pregnant now, so she doesn't really want to do too much extended work. So she's doing this test printing for me, but I don't think she'll be wanting to do the actual edition printing, We're going to want dozens and dozens of this thing, so. And we're tight for printers now. Everybody else, Suga-san is working on the first boss fight. Kubota-san is doing Samus, and then he's doing the dragon print, the dragon's gift. Yamamoto-san is working on some new wave prints, so the great wave prints. Ishikawa-san is scrambling. She's keeping up with subscription prints and yokai back numbers. Just everybody on the team here is busy. We desperately need more printers, So I'm not sure when we'll have time to print this and get it into the catalog, The printing of the Heroes prints has to come first right now, We've got to fulfill all the Kickstarter stuff. Getting those prints made on wide paper for the book was quite a challenge. So that's finally done. And I was hoping to get the book finished before going to Canada, but it's not going to happen. I'm sorry, Just hopefully the people are going to be patient about it. At least it is coming along. It's not like it's forgotten or lost or abandoned. It's coming along just bit by bit. Is it holding focus? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, kind of. For the stream on Monday, the make the print start to finish, as I said, Cameron's going to come in. And we're going to do it a bit of a different way. He's going to, of course, talk and chat and help run the stream. But he's also going to use the camera. And so far, mostly these streams, the camera's static. It just sits up there watching me. But, he's going to be a bit active on that. We're going to try and get a bit more interesting angles and stuff as we go through, so we'll see. You can see what I'm doing here, just these rounded blobs. I'm just trying to put an edge back on them so that they print as green blobs, as green, leaf clumps. It might have been faster just to carve this block from the beginning all over again. I don't know. Oh, look at the focus. Ow! Sorry about this, guys. Sorry, whatever we get, we can get. It just waits for me to look away, doesn't it, before it drops out of focus. For people who are just dropping in, what we're doing today is old blocks from, I guess, the 1930s. Somebody seems to have found out there. Repairing old blocks. They've been worn heavily. I'm just trying to put a new edge on some of the areas so that when we print it, it'll look a bit better. The problem with repairs is like this is that you can only take wood away. So these leaf areas are a tiny bit smaller than what they used to be back in the old days. There was an original shape. It's wore down that I'm cutting it clean at the edge. So these blobs are clearly smaller than what they must have been back in the old days. But it doesn't matter. They're just green leaf blobs like this. Blob, 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 blob. It doesn't make any difference. Clean, sharp areas, like we saw a minute ago with an outline, that has to be handled with inserts of wood. Okay, let me do this one more blob, one more section over here, then we'll go back to the insert work we did a few minutes ago. Finish that part off. We're okay for time, right? It's nearly 9 o'clock. Sure, no problem. Sorry not to be able to keep in touch with what's going on in the chat there, answering questions. I don't know. There's a paradox we saw when I was printing yesterday. And when I'm printing, I can't easily talk while I'm printing, but I can watch the stream, the chat. With carving it's the other way around. I can easily talk while I'm carving, but I can't lift my head up to be watching the chat. So it's too bad. I know when I'm able to talk, I can't see what to talk about. And when I can see, I can't easily talk freely because the printing motions get in the way with the free ability to talk. So anyway, whatever. Well, also I should mention I had an interesting experience yesterday. I was, after the shop was shut, after dinner, I sat in the party room over there trying to catch up on mail and stuff. And I got a sudden email. It said, click, click, bing, bing. I know, message from Twitch. Francis Hanga has begun streaming. I don't know if Francis is, William is here today or not, I don't know. But so it's the first time for me. So I thought, wow, he's streaming. So I clicked on it. Watched William carve for a while, and maybe you guys will laugh at this, whatever. It's the first time for me to watch a Twitch stream. Wow, cool. I'm sitting here watching some guy on the other side of the world carve a woodblock. And it was a new experience for me. I've never seen that before. You're laughing, whatever, I don't know, but I've done this now for some months, but I have never actually seen it before. But it's just such a strange feeling. So much stranger feeling watching it than doing it. It was really a funny, I can't describe. Just here I am sitting in my room with a computer on my lap watching somebody carve a woodblock on the other side of the world. Like you're probably thinking, Dave, like what are you talking about? But as I said, I've never seen it before. And William didn't talk much. He just sat there and carved for whatever, 20 minutes, half an hour or something, and it didn't chat much. Whatever, his personality and stuff are different, so that's okay. But it was really, really interesting. And it really drove home to me that, years ago when I was first starting this, back in the late 1970s or early 80s, if I had had access to this kind of stuff, you know, ability to watch a worker carve on his own bench on the other side of the world, my God, it would have been so different. What I could have done, you know. So it was a very interesting experience to watch that yesterday. I was disappointed. At some point he said, okay, that's enough for today. My battery's running out or whatever. Off he went. And I was, ow. So this Twitch thing, wow, it's kind of cool. Still focus. I gotta watch back and forth, back and forth. Is William here today? Oh, you are. Hello, hello, hello. And William, the streams are automatically archived, I think. They're archived for a couple of weeks. I don't remember how I set it up. They're archived for at least 2 weeks automatically. And I myself, I download them after, or before the 2 weeks is up, I download them. Just to make sure I've got a copy here of everything. Not sure what I'm going to do with them, but anyway, they're here, all the streams I've done. So. Focus, folks. Are we still in focus? Am I back and forth here trying to make sure it's in focus? Okay, just a couple of minutes on this, then we'll get back to where we started earlier. Let's go and finish that plug. Just a sec. Let me get this cleaned out. Okay, again, for people just coming into the stream or whatever who are late joiners here, we've got an old block set here. This is an old print. This is from the Mokuhankan company, maybe pre-war, post-war, whatever. Somebody's looked it up. They said the block set's 1930s. It's the Arashiyama print by Tsuchiya Koitsu. It's a 2-up. They were just making them in thousands. They would sell them for Christmas cards or whatever. The block set is heavily worn. We've just got rounded blobs instead of sharp areas. So our young printer, Aimi-san, she did a test print on it, and she said the green one is unusable, Dave. Please fix it. Just clean up these blobs where it's totally worn into a blob shape. Please crisp up the edges. So I'll be doing that over the rest of the morning. You can see I've got one section done here. I've got to go back and do the rest of the sections. But let's put that aside for a minute, because earlier on the stream, when we first started an hour or so ago, I worked on a different project. There was a piece of one of the blocks. You can see the blue area here. So we zoom in, I don't know, we zoom in, out, focus. The blue area should have come up to this line. So there was a piece of wood missing. Now, rather than try and put in a little tiny piece of wood that's just exactly that shape, I just banged in a plug. And now we shave it down. Wood grain goes the other way. Step 1, shave down the top to match the height. You'll see, whatever. Are we focused? No. Dave. Tell you what, let me do this under the scope. Not that I need the scope, but that'll keep it in one spot so that we can focus properly. Just a minute, let me find the spot here. Hang on a second. There's the spot. Move the camera. Oops, don't click anything. Okay, sorry for jerking around like this. Is that it? Is it focused? I do believe it's focused. Okay. Yeah, exactly. The green pigment, somebody's in the stream here. The green pigment was extremely abrasive. That's why. So the pigment on some other colors was more gentle. Good. And I think there's also a comment here when William is coming into Japan. He'll be here for most of, whoa, this is too big now. I do not need the scope for this. Okay, anyway, whatever. William will be here through the month of February. We've got lots of work to do together on a project, but absolutely, he can work together with me on some streams. We should have some fun. I don't need the scope, it's too big. It's filling the whole You can see where we're going with this, Nate. This is the wrong direction, but whatever. Okay, so you can see where this is, what's going to happen here. I can't finish this today, but we need somewhere in this area here. You can see the kimono pattern. The kimono pattern comes up, and somewhere in this area up here, there's the piece of wood that we're going to need. We don't need this bits, and we don't need this bits, but I don't know where it is right now. So we'll leave it like this right now. We get close to it. Then when Ayumi-san is back here on Monday, as I said, we print the key block just only on one sheet of paper, and then we bring the key block and we paste it down on this piece of wood. And by looking through the back of the key block, we'll be able to see the line here on the image where this kimono has to come. So there's a repair. This piece was missing. We just cut a bigger piece. It's just not worth fooling around trying to gauge exactly. Cut a bigger piece, bung it in, chop it off, paste down the key block, and do the final trim at that point. And it's really, the whole thing is just a few minutes work. Block repair is no big deal, you know. And as I said before, I used to try and make it all invisible, and there's no way. It's just not worth fooling around taking that much time for it. We'll cut this off so you can see what we're talking about here a bit better. These wings here, this is all unneeded. This will all be coming off. It's just somewhere in this circle here, or in this shape here, that the final part will be left. You know. All this other stuff's just going to cut down below the level of printing. I said it wouldn't be invisible, but actually what happens is, you can see what's happening here. I'm carving this down. Right now it's really clear because there's a brand new piece of wood in here. But once this thing's been printed a bunch of times, this part becomes purple also. So if I had not left this sort of gap at the end there to bung this in, the insert actually does become pretty much invisible once it's covered up with pigment. Okay, get the idea? Let me do the other one. Do you try to match the rounded edge of the old block or cut the edges normally sharp? Interesting question. So the old one here does have, this kimono pattern has been rounded and worn out. But let's see Anami-san's test print. Where's her test print? Here's her test print. It's printing okay, you know, except for the part that's missing. The blue she printed seems to fit pretty much. It's not registered yet. Look at this. It's still popped off one side and it's white here. But that area, so the pigment that the old printers must have used for both of these kimono patterns wasn't so abrasive. As we saw too, these blue blobs, the block for those is okay. It's just the block for those green, that green color. They must have used a super, super abrasive pigment. So all these green blobs for the tree got worn out heavily. And I'm happy with that because in the middle of a tree, those blobs, it doesn't matter what shape they are. But if in the middle of a kimono pattern, something like that's really important. But up in a tree, who cares? Nobody's going to see it. So this is working out very, very nicely. Okay, let me turn off the other one. We're okay on camera, right? Focus? Where am I? So you can see, I left this piece of wood way, way, way too big. It didn't matter. It's far easier to cut a big piece and trim it down than to try and find smaller pieces and cut smaller pieces that fit exactly. How are we doing for time here? We're okay. Kawai-san should be here not too far. This weekend, today and tomorrow, it's going to be nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. I don't know, today, whatever, there's 3 print parties. I think it's a group of 4, a group of 3, and a group of 1 so far. That'll change. And then tomorrow, we have what you call in Japanese kashikiri, where we're rented out, chartered from noon. The shop is open, but the print parties have all been booked by one school. And there's 6 groups of 4 coming. So we're going to run through over 20 students tomorrow afternoon, and it's just me and Kawai-san. There's no other staff here. It's going to be a very, very long day because there's going to be people in the shop as well. So we just can't get enough people, you know. But I made this thing too big. It takes too much time to cut down. You know. A really efficient guy would have made this plug maybe half the size. Whatever, doesn't matter. It shows the process. Where I cut away too much. I've done that before. Put a plug in and sliced away too much and had to take the plug out and start again. So, and get it level. Okay, there we go. So you can see what's happening, right? I don't know if it's close enough to see. This is the... Let's get the picture. This is the bottom half of the kimono. The top was missing. This is the bottom part. The top was missing this white area. And I've put the plug in this area, like that. And after Amy-san's here on Monday, she's not here today, we will print the key block, paste it on here, and that will show me then a line, something like this. It'll come up around here. I don't know exactly where it is. It'll come up around here. I could try and do it now by eye, but that's just a recipe for disaster. So we just transfer the key block, and that will show me a line here. And then at that time, I'll cut away the extra wood, and we're good to go. It'll be up and running. So repairs like this really, really, really are a quick, bang, bang, knock it out, just get it done job. If Amy-san had been here today, we could have done the whole thing just in a few minutes. Okay, let's get back to that green block to finish our time today. Where am I? Comments. Sync is off again, whatever, I don't know. We tried to fix that yesterday, you know. Okay, I'll use up the rest of the time. We've got about 5 minutes left. Let me just do a bit more work on this green block here. Then the stream now. Okay, tomorrow's plan will be, there's still more work to do on this block set. Maybe, in fact, what I'll try and do is I'll finish off that purple one we just did, the purple-blue one. I'll try and do that tomorrow. I'll be carving more of this green block tomorrow. And Amy-san has left me more comments. I didn't even finish reading all the things she wrote. She's left me more comments about what to fix on this block. So tomorrow's stream, what day is today? Saturday. The Sunday stream from Tokyo here will be more repair work on this block set. And the Monday stream, and tell your friends, post it to Reddit, whatever, let's get a big crowd. The Monday stream will be making a print, start to finish, on one stream. We'll have a wired connection. We won't be mucking with the Wi-Fi. Cameron will be here start to finish to do explanations and camera work. And it should be good fun. And then we're going to have a week off, Nate. What are you guys going to do with your lives? Off to see my kids and my grandchildren, my mother. Got 6 days only in Canada. I got to pack in a lot of stuff, you know. I know somebody the other day after I mentioned that I'm going over to Canada next week for a family visit. Somebody said, let's get together, let's have a Twitch get together with the Twitch people who are in Vancouver in that area, you know. And without wanting to be unfriendly, I just had to say, I'm sorry guys, no, I know, it's a really short visit for me. I've got a lot of family to see. I haven't seen them in over a year. And, you know, just sorry not to be unfriendly to the Twitchers and fans, YouTube fans, but just, you know, whatever, family visit, you know. Am I on still? Oh, there's the battery. That must be it. We're getting ready for our day. This will be Kawaii-san. It's he and I together today. And it's going to be a day. Today and tomorrow are going to be a day to remember. We tried recharging those batteries, actually, you know, but I think they're too old. They've been charged too many times and they won't hold it anymore. So have to break down and buy a couple of new batteries. He's in the stairwell. He's putting the flag up, putting the poster up, so it means going back and forth up the stairs. So it keeps triggering the, you know, the bell. I think that should be the last time Minnie comes. He didn't come in here first. He went straight to the party calendar to see what new reservations have come in the past few minutes. Good morning, sir. Party calendar. Hey. Today, 今日も school group ですね。そう。4人、4人、4人、4人、4人、4人、4人ですね。Are you ready? Say hello to the stream here. Come and say.
Sorry. Hello. Good morning.
Kawaii-san, you've met him before, so. Everybody else, all the other staff has run away. It's just me and Kawaii-san today and tomorrow. Right? You and me.
So,
this is it's one of the old Doihanga blocks. So, I'm using the test print. So, here's the old, that's the old original. So, well, this is not original, but post-war. And then we did a quick test print. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. 今のために板 OK かどうか. There was a place, 割れちゃった. There was a place missing. On the stream now. I put plugs inside.
Oh.
I put plugs in. 後でこれから掘りますね. So blue, come.
あ、これひどいね。
It's this part, it's this part. It's right here. The little top edge of the blue there. So it's missing on both prints.
あ、これtoo much blue で変えたんか、スノーツリーに変えたんだ。
ひどいでしょ? Look at it.
そう、こっちの。
This is too, I don't know what you can see here. When you look on the net for old images of these prints, you'll see really the old ones, the pre-war ones are done with soft, gentle colors. Then the post-war ones, bang, they just cranked it up to 11 for everything. And we've chatted with them about this, and she says the woman who's got it now was her father. That was his era. And she said they were convinced the GIs, the customers at that time, the 1950s and 60s, the GIs wanted bright, bold, big colors. So they cranked everything up. And we're going to try and make prints that are a bit softer and gentler and a bit more delicate. Hopefully a bit more in tune with the original ideas. Okay, I got a ton of work to do here. I'm out of here now. Not out of here, but out of the stream. As again, tomorrow I'll be continuing the repair work on these blocks. That's Sunday from Japan, and Monday morning from Japan is the big one. We're going to do the start to finish, however long it takes, 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever. The girl in the bath print. I got a ton of preparation to do. 2 wood blocks ready, wet paper, colors mixed, everything ready to go. Anyway, thanks for watching. I have no idea what you guys have been talking about. I'll try and find time to look at it later. Signing off. See you later next time. Camera down. Look at that stream. My God, what have they been talking about? Hey, stream off. Thank you.